Hey everyone, it's Bailey from the EMH, and I'm back with another Elephant Money video. Elephant Money, number go down? Is that bullish? Yeah, so in Elephant Money, guys, number go down is bullish when we're talking about the quantity of elephant tokens in the liquidity pools. All right, so our job as participants in the Elephant Money system is to drain those LPs of elephant token. All right, and when we do that and elephant token leaves those liquidity pools, guess what goes into them? Right, BNB and BUSD, all right, and then that's going to create this parabolic price appreciation for those elephant tokens. All right, there's going to be less elephant tokens paired with more and more BNB and BUSD, and that's going to increase the price of those tokens. All right, and guys, because Elephant Money is only on decentralized exchanges, all right, so it's not subject to being on a centralized exchange, all right, where you're going to see order books, market makers in there, OTC deals, human manipulation. That's not going to be able to impact the price. It has to follow those mathematical formulas in the liquidity pools. All right, and then also another thing that is absolutely huge that people don't quite understand exactly how powerful this is, there is a fee for purchasing these tokens. Okay, so your trading bots and people that are looking to do front running and sandwich attacks and everything, you do not get that on the Elephant token. All right. Because swing traders, there's too much of a fee for them to be able to skimming off of the liquidity pools and siphoning out the liquidity. All right. And if you look at decentralized exchanges and you look at the transactions of a lot of different projects and a lot of different liquidity pools out there, all right, they're infested by bots that constantly buy and sell for tiny, tiny margins and are just sucking the money out of systems. All right. So when you see places that have tons of transactions and everything, a lot of times it's just bots that are constantly siphoning out value. All right. So Elephant token is protected, and that's how we can guarantee that we have this long-term price appreciation. All right. So that fee combined with our tokenomics and the Elephant Money buyback program. All right. This is a long-term successful, all right, token that we're going to be seeing. All right. And it's something that's going to increase in value, all right, in the future as these liquidity pools drain, all right, of Elephant token. All right, so guys, you might have come across, there was a pretty crazy chart that I created back in the day when we had declared Elephant Money, all right, was the king of DeFi. All right, it is the one that is standing tallest. All right, so think about all those kind of like DeFi projects and ROI dApps and all that kind of stuff that had just been absolutely destroyed this past year. And Elephant Money, what does it do? All right, it survives all of that stuff, crypto winters, bear markets, black swan exploits, the FTX craziness, BNB FUD. Does not matter, guys. This thing is in a position where it is stronger than ever before, and it's going to be emerging into the bull run on like a high. Okay, and so that's extremely, extremely bullish for our system. All right, so here's the chart that I had released in the past. And what we're able to do, because it's all dictated on mathematical formulas, is show basically as those elephant tokens leave those liquidity pools, all right, the values of them drop and the price goes up, and the liquidity and strength of the system and protocol and those locked liquidity pools just increases in value. All right, so it's pretty amazing stuff, and you're able to kind of see like a glimpse at what these prices potentially are going to look like because it's just that formula. It's only on those decentralized exchanges, and it's just a matter of the inputs and outputs and how much volume we get. Okay, so one of our goals, guys, is each one teach one, and that is because as more and more adoption occurs in our system, what's going to happen is more and more people interact with products, more and more people will hold the elephant token, and it just naturally creates more and more economic activity, which will drain those liquidity pools, provide fees to Bertha, and to provide money for our elephant token buyback program, which fuels the entire ecosystem. All right. And what's awesome about our system, guys, is that it's scalable and sustainable. And as more and more people enter the system, it becomes actually stronger. All right. So this is a pretty awesome, it's a financial collaborative and community bank, right? And it strengthens as more and more people participate. All right, it's pretty awesome, guys. All right, so what I've done today, guys, is I've created an updated chart where instead of having a stagnant spreadsheet that I've created or a stagnant Google presentation here that I created, all right, I created a sheet that we can now update in real time, all right? Because what would happen is, we were looking at that chart and it was like dead on accurate until things like the price in BNB like fell way down. All right, because I had that initial chart priced at a 240 BNB, and then it slipped down to like 210 and everything. And then, it's not as an accurate tool to use. So here, guys, I just want to show you here on the sheet how it works. All right, and right here, you do file, make a copy if you want to interact with it and put your own numbers in. Okay, so I get a lot of like share requests on these things through email. All right, and nope, you just do file, make a copy, and then you have your own. All right, so you don't have to have somebody try to make you like an editor or whatnot. That's that's not how the the sharing thing would work in Google. All right, the Google Docs or Google Sheets or anything like that. All right, so file, make a copy, and then you're good to go. You interact with it, play with it however you want. All right, and so how it works, guys, the key information that you put in, and I like to try to keep this updated with the current values of Elephant and BNB, or Elephant and BUSD. And I get those from sites like Dextriner or Dex Tools. But I like to keep those relatively up to date. So like say if I use this sheet again in 5 or 6 days, right, you can totally keep it as is, but you might get a slightly more accurate answer if you update the combinations, okay? And the reason is, guys, Elephant Money's protocol is continually scaling and adding to the locked liquidity pools, all right? So as more and more people interact with the system, you're going to be seeing a portion of our fees go to increasing the locked liquidity. All right. So over time, those Ks just creep out a little bit. And if you ever seen a visual of some of my graphs and the curves, they start to move away from, and a little more distance is gained away from the origin, the 0, 0 point in the graph. So it just pushes it out. And it just constantly just raises the floor price and how much liquidity the project is going to have. All right, but you can get away with not updating this, and it would provide you extremely accurate answers as well. Okay, so we're just looking at estimates of what this could potentially look like in the future if we're able to get these liquidity pools down to these levels here that we have. All right, so the key to all this is that constant product formula, being on a DEX, all right, and being able to predict how the price moves. Okay, so that has to obey those formulas here. So guys, this E plus 18, all right, that means like in scientific notation, times 10 to the 18th power. All right, and so this is like a 19-digit, like enormous, huge number. You don't have to worry about that, but that's what that would look like. All right, and then huge, guys, is we can now update the price of BNB, okay? Because we have one of our liquidity pools where we have our BNB token, paired with our elephant token. Okay, so in real time, right, the value of the elephant token, all right, is constantly moving a little bit if the price of BNB moves. Okay, the way a liquidity pool works, guys, the amount of BNB in your pool and the amount of elephant in your pool are equal, all right, at all times. Okay, so as BNB moves up like 5% in one day, right? Say it's like this huge jump, you will see this green candle go, okay, and elephant will also move up. All right, so there can actually be 0 buys, 0 sells, and the elephant token could still be moving up and down. All right, so if you ever look at, guys, the BNB price chart for elephant, and even if you zoom in on like the minute candles, or even less than that, you're just going to constantly see like reds and greens like all the way. Okay, because that's there, it's always kind of fluctuating a little bit as the price of BNB updates. Okay, so that's why, guys, if BNB drops, you can have like a red candle and elephant and no one even sold. Okay, so it also has to do with that BNB price. Okay, so updating BNB is amazing because now these numbers will be able to kind of stay accurate, and you can use this as a good tool for each one teach one. So if you are out there and you're kind of showing your friends, family members, or acquaintances, hey, like this is what some of these values could look like as as the protocol grows more successful, Bertha starts putting a stranglehold on that circulating supply. If there's more and more adoption, just naturally there'll be more tokens spread out amongst other folks, and just a natural decline in the value, or sorry, the quantity of elephant tokens in those liquidity pools. Okay, so that's why one of the big things that BT, our founder, has really stressed is each one teach one. All right, because it's more adoption, it's just more widespread participation in elephant, and it just naturally just raises the price of the tokens because the amount of elephant is just being distributed amongst Bertha and all the participants more and more. Okay, all right, so guys, and one thing, guys, you're going to notice is that when you go to buy like elephant, or if Bertha is buying elephant, all right, using the funds in the BUSD treasury for the elephant buyback program, sometimes she's going to buy from the BNB pool, but there's also going to be occasions where she's buying from the BUSD pool, all right, and it's whatever is the cheaper or better deal. All right, and that's where those funds are going to be allocated. Okay, because then, guys, what happens is the prices relatively stay in unison, and we're constantly getting the best deal. So the more elephant tokens are leaving those liquidity pools. All right, and to ensure that that happens, guys, so there's this ratio or a comparison of like what the value is in the BUSD and BNB pool, and there's going to be a little more of the capital, usually always allocated to the BNB pool compared to the BUSD pool. Okay, and that kind of keeps the prices kind of in unison there. All right, so right now there's roughly about 55% of all the buys would be happening in the BNB pool, and about 45% of all the buys would be happening in the BUSD pool. Okay, and I changed this. All right, I updated this, and I'm going to keep these documents up to date, and I'm going to try to add to this over time to make it a little better. So I changed this because what will happen is, like, say if the price of BNB actually goes up, all right, then what will happen is more and more capital will have to be allocated to buying from the BNB pool to keep the prices balanced, all right, and equal. Okay, because then, guys, the actual it's going to take more capital to take out the same amount of BNB from the pool. So actually the price equation, the parabola actually gets less steep, all right, as BNB actually goes up. Okay, so it's a lot easier to increase the price quickly in liquidity pools where there's not as much like value in them. All right. Woo. All right. Math, crazy stuff. All right, but you don't even need to understand any of that. You can just look here, guys, and so I'll show you what happens here. So right now we're a little bit above 95 trillion in the liquidity pools. All right, so we're close there. So we need about 1 more trillion to disappear, all right, into Bertha and to the participants' wallets, and then we would be rocking and rolling. And on this chart here, all right, and what's that going to show you is just the levels of both the BNB pool and the BUSD liquidity pool as we start to drain them, what the price of the elephant token will be. All right, so once we get down to 95 trillion, all right, so we're going to be at 44 cents per million elephant token. Okay, and then you can also kind of see here, all right, well, what does that mean? Well, if 52.02 trillion, so we're going to need about a half a trillion or 500 billion that's going to be taken out from this pool, and just a shade under 43, all right, so about 230 or so, a little more than that, billion from that pool, all right, and then once we get those out of there, all right, the price will be in unison between the two pools at about 44 cents per million. All right, and then this is going to be that liquidity number that you see on Pancake Swap and on Dex Screener and everything like that. Okay, so that's going to be the liquidity of the project. Okay, and just remember, guys, when you look up a liquidity, it's going to be like half of it is the elephant token, and then the other half is like the BNB or the BUSD. Okay, so if you just wanted to be like, all right, what's the BUSD or BNB in there? Like, forget about the elephant. You just cut this number in half. Okay, and then that will tell you just what the BUSD and BNB are worth. Okay, but liquidity is how they're presented on all those deck screeners and everything. Is it's both the assets together. Okay. All right, so guys, you're going to see that like we have here, our price is going to be increasing, and it increases more and more rapidly as we get down, all right, to lower and lower values in our liquidity pools. Okay, now it takes more capital to get down there. All right, so we're going to see, guys, that it's going to require more and more money to get down here, but the prices are just going to be popping off and going absolutely insane if you are kind of like a long-term holder of elephant token. We're going to see, guys, like some really, really nice price appreciation as more and more people interact with the system. All right, so adoption is key. It's huge. All right, and it's going to be great because our system, everyone prospers when you use it. Okay, the more people that are interacting with that, Bertha's value just increases parabolically, and the way the governance contracts are scheduled with all of the products is that when she gets to that point where it's just like insane growth, she's just trimming off just a tiny bit while maintaining just that absolute stranglehold on the circulating supply. So keeping the price very high and just shaving off the profits of just that huge constant product formula push, all right, to be able to pay things like the futures, right, and the NFT staking and all the awesome products that we have. All right, so pretty amazing stuff. Okay, so guys, this is also editable. So if you wanted to, you can play around with this. Right? Say if you wanted a more like granular view of just like each trillion. All right, so I can come here. I could keep 95. My next box, I could write like 94, right? 93. And if you wanted to, you could do every single trillion. All right, so I can just select that and then bring it down, shortcut, and boom, you can see what happens as every single trillion gets ticked off. Okay, so we're up a cent, we're up a cent, we're up a cent, we're up a cent. Now we're up a little more than a cent, all right, and then again a little more, and then a little more from there. Okay, so you can kind of see how that plays out over each one, or you can do something crazy like, all right, let's dump. Okay, so what happens if 150, okay, trillion are in the liquidity pools. All right, so we're back down to 17 cents. Okay, so you can edit this however you want. You just put this in and it will kind of do the math for you. All right, right there. So I did that like crazy scenario where like everybody sold all their tokens and we went from like 95 trillion and it was something like was it like 200 and it was like 230 or something trillion tokens were able to be sold. 230, bam, it's like, all right, you're going to be able to see like how much liquidity is in the project, all right, and all that stuff. Okay, so that's the power, guys, of being on the centralized or the decentralized exchanges, is that it's all about being able to follow these mathematical formulas to give you like a decent idea on like where we're headed. All right, and what all the kind of revenue would look like and all that stuff. So all right, guys, so I hope you enjoy this spreadsheet, use it as a teaching tool and to be able to kind of inform yourself and also learn a little bit more about decentralized finance and how these liquidity pools actually like price assets and kind of manage both the supplies and then how that works with like the liquidity numbers. Once you start to wrap your head around it, you're just going to become more and more kind of fluent, more and more comfortable, and you're going to be able to benefit more and more from just being in the space in general and helping other people navigate the space as well. All right. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with one little final thought, and this is going to be a work in progress. I'm going to be adding to it as time goes on, but, take security very, very seriously. Okay, pay attention to what sites you're going to. There's never any like airdrops. There's never any freebies in the crypto space. All right, if there are, like whatever, just completely ignore that stuff. Do not click on any links. Be super careful if you ever approve a contract of any kind. All right, anything elephant money related, guys. I have this other little tab down here that's kind of a work in progress. The only thing you need to go to, guys, is elephant.money. All right, not elephantmoney.org. It looks exactly the same. Nope, complete scam, all those things. You just go to elephant.money. So I have that link there. If you're, trying to get, a friend or family member on. PancakeSwap.finance. There's thousands of PancakeSwap phonies and fakes. Okay, BSC scan. All right. And then, guys, I have the official contracts, okay, for the elephant money and the trunk contract. Okay, so if you ever need to like put that contract into PancakeSwap, so it initially brings up the elephant token so you can interact with it, or if you're going to put those tokens into like your MetaMask, or by the way, you should not be using MetaMask, you should be using Rabby, which means you should be on like a desktop computer, but I know some people still use their phones for this stuff, but ugh. All right, but make sure, guys, that you have the correct elephant money token address in there. Okay, which means there's thousands of scam elephant money tokens. Stay safe. Telegram, there are tons of scam Telegram groups, and they'll say they're the official group. Okay, get all of those sites or all of those links from the official elephant money website. Okay, so just be very diligent, very safe, because we're starting to see, as we grow and grow in more popularity, we're starting to see more and more attempts at kind of tricking people into approving contracts, going to phony websites, and what they do is they steal your elephant token, and then you're out of your elephant token, and then they dump it on the community's heads as well. All right, and it's just a bad situation whenever scammers win. So just stay safe, stay diligent. If you ever are questioning something, say it right in the official Telegram group, and then don't respond to any DMs because they're going to be pretending to be somebody else. All right, it's the Wild West. To be able to have financial freedom, unfortunately, you have to kind of navigate some of these tricky things. All right, because the big players, the centralized players, are not going to help us for obvious reasons. Kind of make the space safer. So. All right, guys. Well, take it easy. All right. I'm going to be releasing more content, so be on the lookout for that. All right. Until then, guys, I am Bailey from the EMH. I'm out.